All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash True Inferno. Back at it with another throwback tunes on another Thursday, and this time I am reviewing Jim Jones' third studio album, which is called Hustlers P.O.M.E, which stands for Product of My Environment. So this is his third studio album. Now remember, last week I reviewed Harlem, Diary of a Summer, which I think is Jim Jones' best studio album ever, although that was the only Jim Jones studio album that I ever heard. But I heard this one. So this joint came out November 7th, 2006, and it was done under Diplomat Records in Koch, K-O-C-H, how you pronounce that, Koch Records? So yeah, this joint was recorded from 2005 all the way up to 2006. The producers involved were Jim Jones, who was the executive producer, Cameron, who was also the executive producer, Chink Santana, who was the co-executive producer, rather. I don't think there's any relation to Joel Santana, but let's move on. Other producers involved were Big K.O., Jim Bonds. Oh, when I mean Big K.O., I don't mean the one that wrestles. But anywho, The Runners, Critical Child, Zukhan, Z-U-K-H-A-N, Zukhan Bay, Majik, M-A-J-I-K, Mercury, Joe Black, Noise, N-O-Y-Z, Broken Equipment Productions, Street Scott, and T-A-G-M-G. So there you go with that. All right, so let's look at the charts real quick. This joint was number 6 on the U.S. Billboard 200. It was also number 1 on the U.S. Top R&B/Hip Hop Album charts and number 1 on the U.S. Independent Albums charts. So this joint was pretty straight, if I do say so myself. And let me see, was there any other? No, that was pretty much it. So chart rise, it was barely his second best record that he ever put out. His second best studio album that he put out. Charts rise. This was behind Harlem, Diary of a Summer, which I reviewed last week. So we didn't need to go over that part again. All right, let's move on. It did not get any certifications, unfortunately. All right, so let's take a look at the tracks. So there are 20 tracks here. Now, out of these 20 tracks, if memory serves me correctly, we got, I'm trying to think, the intro, I think, oh no, that's the actual song, my bad. No, that was the actual song. But let me see, how many skits we got? We see 1, I see 2, 3, 4. There was 4 skits, 16 songs, so I can give you guys a top 5, not a top 3. All right, so let's get on with the track listings. The first track, I just said it already, it's called Intro, but this one features Max B, followed by So Harlem featuring, again, Max B. Then the third track is called Bright Lights, Big City, featuring Max B. So the first 3 tracks all features Max B. The fourth track is called Emotionless rather, features, nope, not Max B, Joel Santana. So the first 4 tracks features somebody. The fifth track is called Reppin' Time, so there's no G in the end of Reppin', and then of course it's R-E-P-P-I-N possibly. Track number 6 is called Pin the Tail, featuring Cameron, Joel Santana, and Max B, so he's back. Track number 7 is called Get It Poppin', you know, P-O-P-P-I-N apostrophe. There's no G, featuring Jaja and Princess. Track number 8 is called Mr. Cool, which is like the setup skit or the setup intro to track number 9, which is We Fly High, No Lie. Yeah, that joint. Yeah, y'all should know that joint. Ballin', that joint. Track number 10 is another skit called Voicemail Skit. Track number 11 is called Love of My Life featuring Max B, followed by Voicemail Skit 2. Track number 13 is called Redderman featuring Lil Rain and Stack Bundles, followed by Don't Push Me Away featuring Rail. Track number 15, ironically enough, is called Poor Rags, but no, here's the ironic part, featuring Hell Rail. So yeah, there's a difference. We got Rail the singer and Hell Rail the rapper, who was at one point in time a part of Diplomats. Moving on. Track number 16 is called Freaky Zeke Skit. Yeah, that's the title actually. Followed by Don't Forget About Me featuring, you guessed it, Max B. Track number 18 is called I Know featuring Chink Santana. And then the next track is called My Life. And then the last track, which is pretty funny to me, called Concrete Jungle featuring Max B. Oh, but that's not it though. It features Rail, Dr. Ben Chavez, and N.O.E. N.O.E. is one hilarious dude. Let me tell you guys something about N.O.E. real quick. So he got his own Wikipedia page. So you gotta look up N.O.E. the rapper. Otherwise they're gonna give you a bunch of abbreviations and other meanings for that. So I never heard of this guy until I heard this album in preparation for this video. So he started rapping in 2005, and apparently he's still going to this day rather. And he's a part of Bird Gang, which is like, I think, what is that? A gang or a record label? I think it's a gang that is owned by Jim Jones. Like, he's the founder of that joint, Bird Gang. So you heard Jim Jones, he'll mention Bird Gang here and there, whatever. So here's the deal. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, here it is right here. If you were to go on his Wikipedia page and look on the second paragraph under biography, like 2005, early life and career beginnings, go to the second paragraph and you can read this for yourself. I crap you not. I was laughing when I read this because when I heard that track Concrete Jungle, I'm like, something's off here. And then I looked this guy up, like I looked the lyrics up to see who was rapping the second verse, and it was N.O.E. So I looked this guy up, found his Wikipedia page, and then I read the second paragraph under biography, and it said this: after being rejected by A&R men throughout the bit. Wait a minute, hang on, let me read that again, my bad. After being rejected by A&R men throughout the business for sounding like Jay-Z. You heard me right. This dude sound like Jay-Z. When I heard Concrete Jungle, I was like, why that dude sound like Jay-Z? Like, what? Because remember, this album came out after Diplomats left Rockefeller, and sometime after that, Cameron was beefing with Jay-Z. So it made no sense for Jim Jones, who was at that point in time, associated with Cameron, to be doing records with Jay-Z. Now, the track could have been done before the split and before the beef, and they don't mention him, or they just leave the track off the album. But still though, I'm like, they didn't mention Jay-Z name in here. That would be a legal issue. And they said N.O.E. rapped the second verse instead of Jay-Z. I'm like, who is N.O.E.? Is that somebody associated with Jay-Z or something? And I looked it up. The dude's like, it even said it in his Wikipedia page, in N.O.E.'s Wikipedia page. He sound like Jay-Z. But no, it don't stop there. It don't stop there. Bridgeport's business partner, Nicole Nicety, Nicety, right? Nicety Chaplin, who worked with Dipset president Jim Jones while he was still signed to Jay-Z's Rockefeller label, introduced the two. Chaplin also introduced Bridgeport. Now, you're probably wondering who's Bridgeport. Bridgeport, aka N.O.E. So his real name is Dwayne Bridgeport. So anytime you hear Bridgeport, just think N.O.E. and that basically the Jay-Z wannabe. Moving on. She also introduced Bridgeport to Conrad DeMache, senior vice president at Bad Boy Records, who was impressed with his work but not interested in signing a new act. Quoting here, DeMache just told me to start writing, and it just so happened that Diddy was working on the Danity Kane project, Bridgeport says. And continuing the quote, writing is where the money's at. There's less scrutiny. I don't have to worry about sounding like anybody or whatever, end quote. He went on to write Diddy's lyrics for Danity Kane's debut single, Showstopper. Working with Diddy has also given him a chance to work side by side with Jay-Z, which is pretty funny. And I'm quoting him here. It was a real professional situation. He was doing the hook on the song that ended up not being on the Danity Kane album, and I had to come through to write the lyrics. So, yeah, there you go. And that's pretty crazy. He even got to work with Jay-Z, even though he sounded like Jay-Z. All right, so I had to bring this guy up. I had to talk about him for a little bit because that dude sounds exactly like Jay-Z. I'll get more on that Concrete Jungle song in a second, but we gotta talk about the two singles. So the first single obviously is We Fly High. That joint came out October 21st, 2006. So let's see. And this was the leading single, obviously. And the intro of the song uses a sample of Mr. Cool by Rasputin's Stash. Okay, there we go. There is obviously a music video for this as well. Cameron, Joel Santana, Max B, and even Stack Bundles all make cameos and appearances as on this joint right here. Also, Jones' girlfriend, Chrissy Lampkin, and his manager, Yandy Smith of VH1's Love and Hip Hop fame, also makes appearances in the music video as well. And parts of the music video were filmed in front of a green screen. Oh, okay, I did not know that. And there was a remix for this as well. So let's see, the remix features T.I., Diddy, Joel Santana, Birdman, and Young Dro. and it was featured on Jim Jones' compilation album, A Dipset Christmas or Dipset Xmas. It was released as its leading single. And the remix also had a music video, which is pretty crazy in itself. So let's see, the video contains an extra verse from Jarrell Santana that was recorded for the Beef mix. The music video has cameos from Lil Wayne, DJ Drama, J.R. Ryder, and Trey, T-R-A-E. What happened to that guy, anywho? In the video, at the end, while Jim Jones is talking, he raised his hand in front of his face in the style of Tony Yayo. Also, in some parts of the video, Jones, Birdman, Lil Wayne, and Jarrell Santana appeared with a red bandana hanging from their right pocket, probably referencing to the Bloods gang. Now, there's a little bit of a controversy here, so let's take a look at this. Soon after We Fly High was released, Jay-Z released a diss aimed at Jim Jones entitled Brooklyn High over the same beat. The chorus contains the vocals of Jones and others, but the phrase Ballin' was replaced by Jay-Z yelling Brooklyn. The song is thought to be disrespectful of both Jones and Cameron, another Dipset hip-hop artist, obviously. Jim Jones has released a rebuttal to Jay-Z's song Brooklyn High, also on the We Fly High beat, less than a day after Jay-Z's Retaliative record came out. Jim Jones and Jarrell Santana released a remix called We Fly High Beef Mix in response to Jay-Z. I mentioned the Beef Mix already. And obviously, this song was highly popular, dog. That whole ballin' part, yeah, without question. That joint was really, really popular, especially in the clubs. It was really popular in the club during that time. I remember hearing that song rather a lot. It was crazy, man. All right, so the next single that came out was Emotionless, and that joint came out March 21st, 2007. And it was actually 91st on the top on the Hot R&B/hip hop songs charts. Now I'm not sure. I didn't even know this was a single, and I'm not sure if it had a music video or not. Oh, by the way, We Fly High went platinum, but I'm not sure about Emotionless having a music video, so I can't really speak on that. All right, let's get on with my favorite tracks off this album for what's the first. Pin the Tail is the worst track off this album. The beat pattern is a little off. Like, I had to focus to recognize the pattern. Like if you would have listened to a bar, and it's like the second snare comes in a little bit too early, and then the third and the fourth snare of that same bar, try to, keep on par with the second snare. But then when the next bar come in, it resets. And it was weird. Like, it's really, really, I had to listen to it like a few times. And right before I did this recording, I had to listen to it again. Like, am I hallucinating, or does this sound off? And it sounds off just a little bit, but moving on. The melody is cool. Kick is straight. The snare/clap combo is cool. Overall, the track is straight. Could have been better if that beat pattern was better. Next up, Poor Racks. The melody is decent. The kick is cool. Snare clap combo, expect to see a lot of snare clap combos, by the way, was pretty cool. The lack of a bass really hurts. And I believe that's going to be a theme as well, the lack of a bass throughout the majority of these tracks. The beat sounds a bit empty, but overall the track was straight. Moving on. Don't Forget About Me. The melody is straight, but nothing spectacular. Bass is straight, kick is cool, claps are cool, overall the track is cool. Love of My Life. The melody is straight. Parts of it could be removed as it had great potential. The melody used at the hook is decent. Kicks are cool, but the ones used for the hook are better. The snare used for the verse is straight, but the claps are really cool. Bass is cool. It got potential, but the track is cool. Then we got Concrete Jungle. This is a mellow out joint right here. The melody is cool, bass is cool, kick is cool, snare is cool, track is cool. And again, NOE's verse comes in on the, he got the second verse rather. And again, it's like he got Jay-Z's mannerism. Like, it's bad enough that he sounded like Jay-Z, but he got his mannerisms as well when it comes to like dropping tracks or verses on tracks and things like that. It's crazy. But either way, like I said, the track is cool. Next up is Emotionless. Melody is borderline cool/really cool. The lack of a bass/808 hurt. The kick is cool. The snare clap combo is cool. Overall, the track is cool. Get It Poppin'. Tempo's cool, beat pattern's cool, melody is cool, kick is a little unique, but it's straight. The snare, again, snare slash clap combo is really cool though. Bass is cool, but need more of it. Overall, the track is cool. So Harlem, melody is really cool. The 808 slash kick is cool. Claps are cool. Track is really cool. Weatherman, melody is really cool. Lack of a bass hurts. Kick is straight, but works here though, nevertheless. Snare is cool, but could have been better. There's some potential here, but despite that, the track is really cool. We Fly High, this is a classic right here. The melody is really cool. The claps are cool. Kick is straight. It's a bit too weak now that I think about it. It needs a bass as well, but overall the track is really cool without question. Bright Lights, Big City. So, this is a familiar sample used by Jay-Z, but this, but overall the sample slash melody is really cool here. The kick is cool, but an 808 would be better since there's no bass. The snare is cool, but another snare would be better for this type of beat. Overall, the track is still really cool. Alright, so let me give you guys my top 5 tracks off this album. 5th best track off this album is Reppin' Time. The beat pattern and tempo are really cool. Melody is really cool. There's a really long intro before he started rapping. Like, it took him, I think, close to a minute before he actually started rapping. The kick is really cool, though. Snare is really cool as well. The bass is cool. The track is really cool. 4th best track off this album is My Life. The tempo is cool. Melody is really cool. Bass is cool. Kick is cool. Snare is really cool. Overall, the track is really cool. The best track off this album is I Know. That Sade, No Ordinary Love sample is dope here. The bass is really cool. Kick is cool. The snare is cool, but could have been better for this beat. There's some potential here. Overall, that track is really cool. 2nd best track off this album is the intro, really. The melody is really cool here. The bass is cool. That kick is excellent. The snare is cool. Overall, the track is really cool. And the best track off this album is Don't Push Me Right. This is a semi-mellow joint. The melody slash sample is really cool. Could have been better. Where it could have been used slightly better, rather. The bass is really cool. The kick is straight, but could have been better. The snare is really cool and works for this beat. Overall, the track is really cool. So yeah, those are my top tracks off this album for us. First, now let me give you guys my professional ratings. All Music gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Same with All Hip Hop. Hip Hop DX, wow, Hip Hop DX gave it 1.5 out of 5 stars. Rap Reviews, oh my God, they put these small stars here. They gave it a 3. Oh wait, it says it right here. 6.5 out of 10 stars. And Stylist Magazine gave it a B-. So what do I think about this album? Like I said, Harlem, Diary of a Summer, much better album here than this one. But this one got some potential. Hustlers, Product of My Environment, got some potential. So I'ma say that this is a 3.75 out of 5. I recommend you download it. And I mostly recommend you keep it. I can't 100% say you should keep it, but I mostly recommend you keep it. There's I want to say about 7. Yeah, there's 7 of these tracks that are really cool, and there's about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks here that are cool. But then there are 2 that were just straight. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty decent album, So I recommend you download it, and I'm not 100% sure on whether or not you should keep it, but I'm mostly leaning towards it. This is a 3.75 out of 5. So I'm gonna call it a wrap. So with that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy the new Jay Gatsby, aka the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.